The courtroom fell silent the moment the young attorney placed a faded, weathered adoption certificate on the judge's bench. Every executive who had spent years trying to destroy Rowan Mercer believed his empire was finished. Reporters waited for the final blow. Investors had already begun walking away. Then the attorney quietly revealed that 15 years earlier, when everyone else had ignored a frightened homeless child standing alone on a crowded sidewalk, one struggling single father had changed her life forever. In that single heartbeat, the entire case took an unexpected turn that no one in the courtroom had imagined. Before this incredible journey begins, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances can truly change lives, please like this video, leave a comment telling us where you're watching from, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel. Every small act of support helps our community continue sharing stories that remind our family that compassion is never wasted. 15 years earlier, Rowan Mercer was not a wealthy businessman. He was simply a hardworking single father raising his 8-year-old son, Elliot, after losing his wife to illness. Every morning before sunrise, he opened his tiny furniture workshop, sanding tables, repairing broken chairs, and accepting any honest job that would keep food on the table. Life was difficult, but Rowan refused to let bitterness become part of his son's future. He often reminded Elliot that a person's greatest wealth was the ability to help someone who had nothing to offer in return. One bright afternoon, while delivering a repaired cabinet downtown, Rowan noticed a young girl sitting quietly beside a closed bakery. Her clothes were worn, her hands were trembling, and beside her rested a small backpack that appeared to hold everything she owned. Most people hurried past without looking at her. Rowan stopped. He offered her lunch, then learned that her name was Claire Bennett. She had spent months moving between temporary shelters after losing both of her parents, and every foster placement had failed because no family wanted to keep her for long. Rowan returned home that afternoon unable to forget the sadness in Claire's eyes. After weeks of paperwork, interviews, and financial questions that seemed almost impossible for a struggling craftsman to answer, he officially adopted her. Many people called him irresponsible. They believed one struggling parent could never raise 2 children successfully. Rowan ignored every criticism. His tiny house suddenly became crowded with laughter, homework, shared meals, and dreams that slowly replaced fear. Elliot gained a sister, and Claire finally discovered what it meant to belong somewhere. The years were not easy. Rowan expanded his workshop into a respected furniture company through relentless honesty rather than shortcuts. Claire excelled in school, driven by gratitude instead of ambition. She studied every evening while helping her father organize business paperwork. Watching dishonest competitors attempt to manipulate contracts inspired her to study law. She promised herself that one day she would protect good people who lacked the power to defend themselves. 15 years passed beneath warm afternoon skies filled with ordinary moments that quietly built an extraordinary family. Rowan's company had grown into a successful manufacturing business employing hundreds of workers. Yet success attracted enemies. A powerful rival corporation fabricated financial evidence, bribed a former accountant to provide false testimony, and accused Rowan of fraud. Banks froze company accounts. Longtime partners withdrew their support. Employees feared they would lose their jobs. Reporters portrayed Rowan as another businessman hiding behind a respectable image. The case reached court on a clear morning that seemed almost too peaceful for the storm waiting inside. Rowan entered the courtroom carrying the weight of hundreds of employees whose families depended on his company. He believed the truth would eventually prevail, but the evidence presented against him looked overwhelming. Even his own legal team struggled to challenge documents that appeared authentic. Then Claire walked through the courtroom doors. She had spent years becoming one of the youngest attorneys at her firm, never expecting her greatest case would involve the man who had rescued her life. Calm, prepared, and carrying months of carefully gathered evidence, she requested permission to represent Rowan alongside his existing counsel. Instead of relying on emotion, Claire relied on truth. She presented hidden financial records, expert forensic analysis, and overlooked security footage proving that company files had been altered by individuals connected to the rival corporation. She uncovered secret payments made to false witnesses and demonstrated how digital timestamps had been manipulated to create convincing but fraudulent evidence. As every fact emerged, the confidence of Rowan's opponents disappeared. The courtroom atmosphere shifted completely. Those who had mocked Rowan's integrity now struggled to explain their own actions. By the end of the afternoon, the judge dismissed every accusation against Rowan and ordered a criminal investigation into those responsible for the conspiracy. Before leaving the witness stand, Claire asked permission to submit one final document into the official record. It was not another financial report or legal brief. It was her adoption certificate. She explained that 15 years earlier, the man everyone had tried to portray as dishonest had chosen to love a homeless child without expecting recognition, reward, or repayment. The integrity being questioned in court was the same integrity that had given an abandoned little girl a family, an education, and a future. His greatest investment had never been his company. It had been people. Many inside the courtroom wiped away tears. Employees embraced one another outside the courthouse, grateful that their jobs had been saved. Investors returned, not simply because Rowan had won, but because they finally understood the character of the man leading the company. Rowan's business recovered, but its greatest victory was proving that compassion could survive even the harshest attack. As father and daughter stepped into the warm afternoon sunlight together, Rowan realized he had never truly rescued Claire. They had rescued each other. One simple decision made years earlier had traveled through time, returning exactly when hope seemed lost. Before this story ends, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a meaningful comment telling us whether you believe one act of kindness can truly change someone's future forever, or share a moment when compassion transformed your own life. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. May this reminder stay with all of us: kindness is never an expense. It is a seed, and although it may take years to bloom, it almost always returns when it is needed most.